Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the No Offers podcast, where we continue to have no offers and hopefully get you an offer one day.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your work. I know you just started with, one of the big company out there.
Yeah. So far it's been really. I'm not gonna lie, I've been liking it so far.
Look at the camera, please.
I haven't. I haven't gotten any hard, difficult work yet, but I've just enjoyed the people that I've met so far. I feel that the people that I've aligned myself with have been, people that I could, relate to, talk to, and just have a similar personality like me.
What would that personality be?
I don't know. I guess outgoing, loud, extrovert. People who have similar goals as me, things like that,
Talking about goals, why don't we talk a little bit about your goals?
My goals, man.
Yeah.
My goals is to die rich or die trying on the way there, Nothing selfish, just trying to provide for my family. Those are the goals. Those are every man's goals right there.
Yeah. And how would you provide for your family?
Hopefully one day get to buy a house for them, making sure that they're well taken care of. They don't need to worry about any bills or anything like that.
So you want to be Big Daddy, pretty much, huh?
I've always been, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, you're gonna pay for my bills too, bro?
I mean, I don't know, you're gonna give out?
That depends what you're gonna pay. I mean, if it's a BK meal, I don't think anything's gonna happen.
You only do it for Nobu or what? Nobu only. It's a high class right here.
I mean, you gotta live high.
That's true. What about you? How has your week been? I haven't seen you in a week, man.
It's been pretty good overall. Yeah. Again, my work is a little different. I'm an auditor, so we had to follow a deadline, and right now it's the end of the quarter, so we had to finish our deadline so we could file it on time. So,
oh wow, interesting.
The work needs to be done, but it's all up to the client to give us what we need, and now we got nothing, bro. We're fucked.
So that means that you're gonna have a very tight schedule when the deadline isn't here. You're gonna have to do all the assignments by then.
Yeah. Probably have to stay up all night, but that's the life.
All right, then. But now let's move on to a more serious topic.
Yeah.
What are your favorite Pokemon?
Fuck Pikachu. That's what I'll go.
That's your son, bro.
It's my little chow right here.
I don't know, man. I've always been a Pikachu fan myself.
Yeah?
Well, my favorite Pokemon is my very first Pokemon that I ever got was Charizard.
Charizard?
Yeah.
Do you also invest in trading cards and everything when you first started?
Nah. So when I first started, I don't think when I was a kid, right? I don't think I knew where to buy real Pokemon cards. Mm-hmm. So, in the Swami, you give the guy $1 and he gives you 60 fake Pokemon cards, right?
Yeah.
But right, a block away from where I live, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh store.
Yeah.
And all those Yu-Gi-Oh cards are real, right? So there's this guy there. When you have a store, you don't just sell the packets or the boxes. You also open some up and you sell individual cards, right? 50 cents. The good ones, $20+.
Yeah.
But this guy, he got a bunch of those cards that no one was gonna buy, put them together, and he will sell them for 50 cents, 2 for $1, things like that, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the ones I got. So I have a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are just randoms, but they're real. And I remember, being in 3rd grade and we're playing with them, but
yeah,
we didn't exactly know how to play, so we just go by the picture. It was the baddest one,
Yeah. Do you still have those cards, or?
Yeah, I still have most of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, actually.
No, you need to bring that in. We gotta share. Let's see what kind of Yu-Gi-Oh cards you got.
All right.
So any other card games that you play? Magic is a pretty big.
No, I've never gotten into Magic. Yu-Gi-Oh was something I was really big into just because my older cousins were into it as well. But for me myself, I was, what got me into it more was the cartoon. I was like in elementary school when Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was a theme, and it was all about the synchro monsters riding in motorcycles. So I feel like I always wanted those type of cards.
Yeah.
But nowadays I don't even know what's new, what's good. Like the rules change so much.
Exactly.
But no, I've never gotten into Magic. I remember in high school, the librarian, she actually got a lot of kids into Magic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She would bring her... I guess there's sets of boxes that you could buy that are like beginners or deck boosters. So she bought one and she would give them out to the kids while the kids built their own decks. But I myself, I could never hang out with that crowd,
Yeah, what's that? You're too cool for that? Too cool for me? I'm in that crowd, bro.
In that crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but you were 10 years too early, right? Different crowd. No, I just prefer just hanging out with my friends or chopping it up, laughing instead of being serious right there playing some cards. Yeah.
Not all cards players are serious, bro.
So, most of them.
Damn, don't check. Most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
You missed out.
I don't know. Maybe one day you could teach me.
I don't know, bro. After what you just said, I don't want you to be too serious.
What would you say is the most important knowledge to have when you go into an interview?
A few factors, I believe, when you go into an interview. Obviously, confidence is like a big factor. The other thing is like being prepared. But overall, it's just like a good rest, right? Because when you're at an interview, you don't want to look like you've been to a pope. Because first impressions, everything. The moment you walk into the door, people already judge you.
I would agree with that.
Or, you just know someone in the company and nepotism kicks in.
Yeah, maybe your dad is the CEO and you just have to talk to Chad and was that your first grade recital and you're in.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the world works, right? Either you work your ass off or just know someone.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, I would agree with you. Being prepared is something that a lot of people need to do before they start their actual their interview. This preparation can mean knowing who you are in terms of knowing what you want, why you're there, and what you want to get out of there, right?
Yeah.
Knowing the company, knowing what they actually do, the position you're interviewing for, and what that position does. Sometimes you also, when it's, nowadays I feel like most interviews are in Zoom.
Yeah.
But before, when you actually had to go into the office, I feel like that's something you also need to know, what building it is, what floor it's in, who you're actually speaking to.
Right, right.
It's not like Zoom where you hop on and then you have that person's first and last name so you know how to speak to them.
Right.
Back in the day you had to go in and then you remember who they are from the email, not say the wrong name.
It's only been 2 years, bro. You make it sound like it's been like a decade or so.
It's a different life now. It's a whole different life.
I agree. I mean, it's good to know a little bit about the company, right? I believe majority of the time, as far as my experience concerned, most interviews are not very technical.
Right.
They're just questions to gauge if you are a good fit for the company. And most of the time I feel like people try a little too hard to impress the interviewers. Do you have any experience in that sense where your own personal experience where you feel like you're trying too hard or you feel like you did well and then you don't get the offer?
Yeah, so a couple of times actually. So, just kind of going further explaining on what you said, that most employers kind of just want to know your personality and see if you're a great fit as opposed to technical question. I think that all depends on who we're interviewing for, right? I feel like when it comes to public accounting firms, that is the case. They just want to make sure that you're a great fit for the company, that you're someone that's going to represent them. That's something that's important to them. In terms of technical skills, they feel like they could teach you all that. They're top companies for a reason. They have great trainings, great mentors there to help you, but they really need that people aspect for client facing and, client work. But when there's companies that are smaller, that just have a small team, I feel like that's when those technical skills matter. You knowing how to actually do the work is very important, because they'll teach you, they'll guide you through it, but they would prefer someone that could pick it up right away or has prior experience, so it could just flows and goes as business as usual. That and I'm talking about a team that has like 5 to 10 accountants, right? Because one of them would make a big difference. In terms of talking about a time where I thought I was gonna get an offer but I didn't. I remember when I was a freshman. I think I remember speaking to you about it, where I interviewed with 4 people back to back.
Right. The group interview.
It was 4 people back to back, and I thought I was doing really good. On the second to last interview, I remember, of course, you're gonna start off with someone who has a couple years in the company, and you're gonna end off the interview with probably someone who has the most years, right? So for me, the second to last interview was someone who I thought I did pretty good in relating to. We talked about basketball the whole time. Of course, they're older, right? So I remember his favorite team was the Chicago Bulls, the 95, 96. That whole Jordan, Scottie Pippen era. He mentioned that, it was the second three-peat, I believe, because he mentioned that his favorite player was Tony Kukoc. Right? A European player, probably a 6-man. And, I was maybe I didn't get it because I said I was a LeBron fan.
Maybe that's could be. There are a lot of haters out there.
Yeah, especially those Jordan fans. They're LeBron haters.
You can get canceled. Get canceled with Jordan fans now? Is that it?
No, but honestly, we just talked about basketball most of the time, actually. So I thought I was in. I'm like, I think these prior people really got the best out of me in terms of they got the best answers I could have given to them. And this last person, I felt like I could relate to him pretty good.
Right.
I had 2 other people there that were also interviewing. So we had juggle us 3 and then those 4 interviewers. So I don't know if one of them got it. Who knows? Or maybe it was a different round of people who got the position.
Yeah.
But I honestly thought I was gonna get it. I forgot the position. Was it like IT audit, IT advisory? It was something you had to do with
I believe
tech.
it deal with IT assurance. But
IT assurance, right? It was IT assurance.
Yeah. I remember you told me about it.
Yeah.
But, you felt great.
I felt great.
You felt great. You felt like you're on top of the world after.
I felt like I was on top of the world because we were literally like on the 70th floor, bro.
So what happens once you find out, like, oh, I didn't get the offer?
So here's the thing. I even, besides working with our close friend group, in terms of practicing my interviewing skills, I also practiced with someone who was from the company. I went over to their house, I think once or twice. Oh, wait. It was consulting or advisory in tech, I believe.
Yeah.
But the person I was talking to, I think, was an audit. And they were even helping me out in terms of how did their process go. I remember I had someone helping me that was from the company and someone that was helping me that was from that field in advisory.
Yeah.
So they were both helping me out. So I thought I was very prepared. I knew the company. I knew the type of questions I was going to be asked. So I thought I was going to be very prepared, right? I had someone helping me that was from the company, someone that was helping me from a different company, but also a great company that was in that position. So I was prepared. I knew the company, what they were going to ask me. I thought I did great in the interviews. Time came and a week happened. I didn't hear back. 2 weeks happened. I didn't hear back. A month, 2 months had happened. I didn't hear back. My friend that was from the company kept telling me, hey, have you heard anything? I hadn't heard anything. I emailed some of the people that interviewed me. I think I emailed like 2 or 3. Reached out to 1 or 2 on LinkedIn. Nothing asking them about the positions, just saying hi. I can't remember if I got a rejection email or not. But if I did, it must have been like 6 months after.
Yeah, so they pretty much ghosted you for
ghosted me.
Yeah. So they pretty much ed you for 6 months
Exactly.
with no payout.
With no payout.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think I was a freshman, right, at the time?
I think freshman in no.
It was like winter break, I think.
Was it? I believe it was your second semester into the your freshman year.
Okay.
So yeah, because that's when you started to get involved with the business clubs and everything like that. You know. So let's talk a little bit about your college experience, right?
Amazing, bro.
The whole ride through, or like there were some parts that were amazing and some parts not so great.
I would say the whole thing. I feel like even though I just did my regular 4 years in college, I feel like I could separate it into 3 different parts,
Yeah?
I could separate it into pre-COVID, COVID, and then after COVID.
I can say the same. I think for me it would be before Chegg.
After Chegg?
After Chegg.
During Chegg? And then after Chegg?
But I think, joking aside, can you talk a little bit more about just your experience and like what pathways you took? And
Yeah.
I know like in college when you start, people always say like, don't worry about your major. A lot of people change their major pretty often. Did you change your majors, and
No,
what was it like?
I actually, I did not change my major, even though I had some people trying to convince me to go a different route. I stuck to it. I don't know if it was because that's something I really wanted to do, even though at the last...
You gotta tell us what your major first,
Okay, so...
and why you stay so loyal to your major.
So I majored in finance,
Yeah.
and I was thinking of switching it to accounting.
Yeah.
So I went into
Who tried to convince you to switch to accounting?
this guy right here.
Yeah.
This guy and our friends were telling me accounting's the way to go.
And then what made you not try out to switch to accounting?
Because I actually wanted to work in a finance role. And I remember, you know how I was saying that I could change my... I could describe my college career in 3 parts.
Yeah.
In the last part, I was really focused on, those finance companies, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. I was really focused on recruiting with them. So I felt that that's the way I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out. I ended up working more in accounting. But I already had those first part of college and second part of college, that really helped me out. And I had the experience already with recruiting with those accounting companies.
What inspired you to look up to banking industry, since I know at least in America, bankers aren't, looked upon by a lot of people?
Right. So I feel that just going off with my major, I have finance.
Mm-hmm.
It's already something that I really like. I like investing in stocks, learning more about personal finance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that I grew up with basic knowledge of personal finance.
Yeah.
In terms of, I grew up knowing how to save money, how to budget, and those basic things. But I didn't know how to invest, other different type of investments you could do, and why they're important. So I felt that this was like the key, I guess, to my financial health.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I chose the major to begin with, and then just going further into it, I just wanted to know more about finance in America overall, and just seeing how the economy as a whole works together.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really like the culture, man. I wanted to be a finance bro.
Okay. With that being said, why are you in accounting?
Those were the cards given to me. I was very close, guys. I was very close into getting a career in finance. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was me messing up and procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was a company glitch. I don't know if it was I don't know what it was, guys, but I was so close into going into the finance world.
Yeah.
It didn't end up happening, but I already knew not to put all my eggs in one basket just because of previous knowledge. So what I did was, so I had a summer internship.
Yeah.
And then I knew that I was going to continue with that company during fall, but I had a month break in between.
Okay.
So what I did was I got an Excel file. I wrote down all the companies that I knew of, right? I wrote down all the banking companies, like the top 3 and then the rest. I wrote down all the public accounting firms. I wrote down all the entertainment companies, every company I could think of, right?
Yeah.
And I just applied. I didn't apply every day, but I did like 4 to 5 times a week. And when I did, I applied to 10 to 15 companies every single day. So you could just imagine every day I'd get like 20 rejections.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 to 6 Pymetrics.
Yeah.
To do those Pymetric works. But I think once you get one down, you could just use them for your other ones as well. I had a couple pre-recorded interviews, and I had overall I didn't get to apply to all those companies, just because when I would get rejected, I would apply for a different position for those companies I really wanted to work for. And I think at the end I got like 3 to 5 interviews actually with someone, and the company I'm working for now was the first one to give me an offer, and that's who I went with.
First offer, first acceptance,
first
or
offer, first acceptance. If they believed in me, I believe in them.
So you're a loyal guy.
I'm a loyal guy. For any girl out there, I'm loyal. No winking, bro. No, but in all honesty, that's what it was. It was first offer, first acceptance, and something that clicked in my mind was when I got that offer was I was happy in terms of how that could change like my family's life. But I was also looking back at the past, right? Just because I did mention, because you graduated, 2 years before me?
Yeah.
When we were still in school together, having that grind, that mentality, that recruiting grind. I remember, that company and those other 3 companies were seen as like the go, right? And then I remember telling you like, oh, if those are like the hard companies to get to, like how come I just don't apply to these smaller ones? And then I remember you telling me, yes, but if you set your goals this high and you go one step lower, you're not gonna feel as bad as if you say your expectations low and then you go even lower. I remember you telling me that. And then I remember another friend who works at a mid-tier firm.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing it to be like an asshole or anything. He was just being honest with me when I told him that I was interested in his company's advisory field. And he was just telling me like, hey, like there's people out there who come from better schools than you, like recruited schools, have better grades than you, and maybe they're not gonna have more experience than you, but those 2 are already big factors. And when they don't get to like the companies that they want to get into, they apply to ours and they're seen as great candidates. So for you, I think it's gonna be very difficult for you to get in the company,
right?
But he's like, I work with recruiting, so I'm gonna throw your resume in there.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens from there. So he was actually a very good friend. He told me the facts. He told me straight up how difficult it would be to get in there. But he also did tell me that he was willing to, throw my resume in there.
Right, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of the time it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And who you know can get you a chance to not toss your trash and then not toss your resume into the trash can. Right. So, I mean, again, I kind of encourage anyone to apply for jobs or seek out anything. Always reach for the sky, and then wherever you land, where you fall, it's just icing on a cake, right? I mean, don't sell yourself short because you never know. Because like I've met people who has lower qualification than other people, myself included, than my peers, and I still got myself in. So just persevere.
That's what it is. If you want to start working out and you think that it's a more realistic goal to say, oh, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week, right?
Yeah.
But you only end up doing 1 a week. I think never mind. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I mean, let me see if I could patch this up, right? you set yourself out for like working out for 3 days out of the week, right?
Right.
But you only end up on doing 1 day. That's still 1 day more than what you did before you started this journey, right?
I guess what I was gonna say was kind of in comparison, right? Like, let's say you have, let's say you're about to start working out, and you say, "I'm gonna work out every single day."
Yeah.
But you know that's extreme, but you don't care.
Yeah.
And you only end up working 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That's still better if you say, you know what? I know that working out every single day isn't gonna happen. So my goal is to work out 3 times. And you only end up working once a week, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's better to set high expectations for yourself, and even if you fall a little short,
yeah,
it's better than setting mediocre expectations for yourself,
right?
And failing overall.
Right.
Right.
Have high standard, except for women. Lower your standard.
Yeah, lower your standards. No, we're saying woman. You should lower your standards.
Talking about that. Right, Jacob actually sent us a little funny snippet about how Bumble only look for men that are 6
Where is Jacob? Man, you're little Jacob for today, man. Because Jacob's a little busy right now,
Yeah. So I'm just gonna segment a little bit since we're talking about women lowering their standards. So Jacob kind of showed us a little survey saying that 90% of women on Bumbles have their setting to men with only 6 feet or taller.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah?
I think so, because was this an average of all women, right?
90% of their user base, yeah. Women user base.
You see? So the average man in America is 5'9", right?
Are you trying to say that because you are 5'9", or
no.
You're trying to defend yourself?
No. Give me a second, right? So I am 5'9". I'm considered average, right?
Yeah.
But I'm considered average in America, right?
Yeah.
But I'm Mexican, so
okay.
I'm maybe like a little bit above average, right?
Okay.
So that also for Chinese people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Japanese people from Guatemala, El Salvador, 5'9" is considered a little above average.
You're a behemoth, bro. You're a behemoth in those countries.
Behemoth?
Yeah. I mean, look at me. I'm 5'3".
5'3".
And my size, my
Are you
Asian...
average for Vietnamese?
I'm not sure if I'm average. Maybe below. I'm not.